Hi folks, we're with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio radio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the all-pervasive NGOs. There's just a mass, a proliferation that goes beyond, the mind boggles at the amount of NGOs that are activist NGOs that are running around. They all claim charity status and they're getting it. But in fact, they're nothing even remotely resembling a charity. They're engaging in all sorts of political activism and race hustling and gender hustling and illegal movement of people, labour hire scams, and the list goes on. And I just want to look at a couple of examples of that. These both involve the Indian subcontinent or people from there. But I don't want to suggest these are the only folks that are getting up to this. Now, this is a chain of stores in sort of boutique and fairly specialist stores in Australia, and there's over 100 branches around the country, and they sell out to well, actually, it goes beyond that. They're actually a BlackRock type outfit takes a big shareholding in them, and then hustles the management into selling out to an Indian investment firm. Now that's sold at quite a premium price. So the BlackRock type outfit does very well in this. So clearly it was a prearranged move. They park their money in there. The BlackRock outfit park their money in there, sit on it for 12 months, then sell out to this Indian outfit at a huge profit. So again, that's a prearranged hustle, and they're all tentacles and parts of the global sort of machine here. So the Indian investment firm pays a lot of money for more than you'd think that it should. It's well above the market price. As soon as the Indian outfit takes over, they turn each store into a franchise, which is available and sold only to Indians. So every store is now owned by an Indian franchisee, and they in turn claim that only special dialects of Indian can be spoken in the shop, and so that they then import workers to work in the shop who are all from India. So it becomes a financial scam, a money laundering scam, and then a people hiring, labour hire, immigration scam on top of that. So now all these shops are again Indian franchise owned. The controlling franchise group is this Indian owned group, and they've got all these Indian employees in there. It all happened sort of rather quickly. So that's an example of some of the things that go on. Another one is there's a chain of this is in the medical. I won't get too specific here, but this is in the medical industry, and this company had an Australian company, and they had a number of their branches, if you like, or offices around Australia, and they sold out to an Indian investment firm who, again, suddenly all the people working in there are Indian now. You might get the receptionist is the token white person, but they employ only Indians. Now, you can't, it's illegal to do that, employing only Indians or employing only one race, refusing to, but no one's going after them to stop them from doing it. They're not getting dragged into court by human rights groups and so on. So now this is actually quite widespread. Again, it's not just Indians that are doing it. This is quite widespread, but there's no government entities that are going after these people and suing them. If there was an all-white thing, they're only white employees, then it would be a furor and it'd be headlines and it would be racism, Nazis are taking over. When it's the other way, nothing gets done, and these frauds, in my view, are allowed to continue. Now, I guess when offshore money comes in to buy any local business assets or any assets at all, they're able to, because this scamming, the franchising, whether it be takeout food or other stuff, is quite widespread. So the money is borrowed from offshore, and then repayments have to be made. But the offshore moneylender can just simply add a management fee on arbitrarily applied management fee to make sure that the local entity doesn't make any profit or constantly runs at a loss or whatever, but to arrange the finances in such a way that no tax is ever paid. So now, on top of that, the Indians that are brought out to work in the shops, their income is packaged up with accommodation and food, so that they come under the tax threshold, so they don't pay any tax. So a business that may have been generating millions of dollars a year, tens of millions of dollars a year in tax, whether it be through employees or through the tax on business profits. All of that tax revenue is lost, and so it's a net loss to the Australian economy. It's a net, no one's gaining out of this other than the Indians and the now. I guess another side here is there's an increasing number of NGOs that are like mafia business organisations, like the mafia in the US running the casinos or something. They're starting up creating a lot of startup businesses where white people simply aren't allowed. There is not a single white person working in any of these businesses, and they're there to launder money. So, this is meant to be a fucking charity, and the NGO. Where's this money coming from that they're getting? Because as they're a charity, they can receive money which becomes a tax deduction for the donor. So they then rechannel that money into supposed startup businesses as part of some wider money laundering scheme, but where no white people are employed, where white people aren't allowed, and they're able to do this and get away with it. If the laws were rigorously applied. If a white company doesn't hire any brown or black people, they get chased after. Why isn't this happening with these sorts of things, and why is this sort of hard to continue without question or investigation? So these sort of things, I see this as taking a bigger and bigger part of the economy, and it creates not only a parallel economy but an informal type of economy where and feeds back into the concept of eradicating all forms of merit from whether it be employment or anything else. This lack of merit provides a culture or an attitude where these sort of scams can take place and become acceptable. Because it's there are only brown and black people that are employed there, so why don't we just let that go? Whereas if it was a white person benefiting, they would maybe take a different view, and they would say it was racist or something like that. So these are some things I've noticed, and they're concerning because they're becoming more prevalent, more widespread, and I think they're causing great harm to the economy. I've been Tassus today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.